Now let's get more insight into how the ongoing class suspensions are affecting the learning of students. We're joined by PBED Executive Director Hanibal Camua. Good morning and thanks for joining us again, sir.
Good morning, Sir Angelo and Ma'am Angela. Maraming salamat po for having me in your program again.
Of course, given our situation right now, 1 week po no, na hindi nakapasok ang ating mga estudyante dahil nga po dito sa typhoon and habagat. Ano po ba yung nakikita natin na prolonged disruption na epekto sa estudyante po natin pagdating po sa kanilang performance sa paaralan?
Well, may pag-aaral po dyan yung EDCOM at kami po ay sumasang-ayon po doon. Ang EDCOM 2 may pag-aaral na sa bawat araw ng classes na missed due to suspension ay ang kaakibat po niyan na parang learning loss ay almost half a month just in terms of arithmetic and also mathematics, numeracy, literacy. So malaking kawalan po yan kung titingnan po natin just this week, no, halos buong whole week na may mga suspension of classes in affected areas. While of course we acknowledge that safety of the learners and also the teachers and also working personnel of the DepEd is the priority, and that's why merong mga measures that are actually also implemented by some schools, katulad po ng modular learning, blended learning, and that's actually good. While there are some schools po na very quick, agile, and flexible to implement those different modalities para po hindi po magkaroon ng malaking impact on learning continuity, makikita po natin that there are also some schools and education institutions na wala pong kakayanan at hindi po capacitated to do those blended learning, to do those modular learning. So baka kailangan pa pong i-mainstream yung ganong klaseng alternative delivery systems in times like this.
Do you have any data, sir, now with regards to are we still within the number of minimum class days required? Kasi if not, do you recommend na if ever malapit na tayo sa threshold, mag-Saturday classes?
Actually, sir, that is, kung titingnan natin yung datos from last year, 2024, around 35 or 34, if I'm not mistaken, missed on average, no, missed class days. And in a school year, basically roughly around 200, naglalaro po sa 200 on the average yung number of class days na required by DepEd. This school year po, it's around 197. So if we are going to put some percentage on it, just from experience from last year, which nagkaroon ng suspension for roughly around 34 class days, and you divide that to 197 na required or mandated ng DepEd on the number of required nga na school days, that's roughly 17% already of the required class days na lost. So I think it falls onto, of course, our Department of Education and the school heads, particularly at the school level. Kasi school level management po yan, sir, kung titingnan po natin. So it falls upon them to implement, of course, make-up classes or let's say catch-up mechanisms. But from my end, particularly from us sa PBED, kailangan po ng ganyan. Kailangan po ng mga make-up classes, kailangan po ng mga catch-up mechanisms because we could not afford to have prolonged suspension of classes, and nagsasuffer po talaga yung learning outcomes kung ang learning continuity ay naiistorbo ng dahil po sa mga ganitong pagkakataon at ganitong circumstances.
Mr. Camua, I was wondering, aside from academics, are we also looking at the negative psychosocial effect of this situation that we are in right now, especially with the students, yung mga nasa evacuation centers, yung mga namatayan dahil nabaha or na aksidente dahil dito sa malalakas na mga pag-ulan, and what are we doing to address that?
Definitely, ma'am, no, I technically on the issue of schools being used as evacuation
Yeah.
centers, we don't need to look far.
Right.
From our experiences from Typhoon Yolanda, way back almost more than 10 years ago, did result into a landmark legislation, the Republic Act 10821, or the Children's Emergency Relief and Protection Act,
Right.
which mandates po na dapat lessen yung paggamit ng eskwelahan bilang evacuation center. Minamandato din po nung batas na yon na dapat kapag nagkaroon ng ganitong mga kalamidad, ay automatic po na magtatayo at magtatatag yung ating mga local government units ng mga child-friendly spaces at mga temporary classrooms to ensure learning continuity.
Right.
Now, I would focus on child learning spaces kasi doon po yung interventions na kapag nagkaroon po, let's say, ng ganitong kalamidad, dapat may interventions po para sa mga bata kung paano po nila i-process itong mga experiences po nila. Especially po sa mga younger ones, these kinds of experiences may lead to, let's say, may
Long-term
trauma
trauma.
or may impact sa kanila. So, kailangan ma-process po yan at dyan po yan sa mga child-friendly spaces kailangan gawin.
Kasi ang hirap din naman na hindi sila makapag-focus doon sa learning nila sa schools because they're thinking about wala kaming bahay, wala kaming susuotin, wala kaming baon, hindi kami makakain, right?
Exactly po, ma'am. Exactly. So that's part actually of what I think it's just in terms of agency responsible for doing that. Nasa mandato po yan ng DSWD, especially ng kanilang Disaster Relief and Management Bureau, na kapag naitatag po itong mga child-friendly spaces at itong mga temporary classrooms, yung intervention po para matugunan yung pangangailangang psychological ng ating mga learners at ng ating mga kabataan ay mapunan po, no, para ma-process po nila ng tama itong experiences nila sa mga emergencies and disasters.
Well, definitely we have a lot of problems, no, na nakikita dito sa education sector that we need to address to, and marami pa po tayong dapat pag-usapan, but unfortunately we don't have much time. We hope to see you again next week. But for the meantime, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. Thank you for your insights, PBED Executive Director Hanibal Camua.